To entrepreneur or not to entrepreneur? That is our question we're going to be dealing with today. In this video, we're going to be talking about the mindset and the mentality that you are going to need to become an entrepreneur. There's so many videos about what it is that you need to do practically from start to end to become an entrepreneur in any type of business. However, what is it that we need to be doing with our mind? And if you stay to the end, I'm going to give you my first tip that I would take if I had to do it all over again. If you're new to the channel, my name is Bennett Schwartz and I'm a high performance coach, and I help people have richer both personal and professional lives. So if you're looking to become wealthy, make sure to subscribe and hit the like button. You see, when I started my entrepreneur journey, I thought that everything was going to be amazing. I had all these dreams about all the money I was going to make, all the financial freedom I was going to have, just the freedom in general, just being able to do whatever it is that I wanted. But when push came to shove and things started to happen, I didn't really understand the ride that I was signing up for. You see, I thought it was going to be that type of ride where you're driving in Miami or LA and the weather is beautiful and you're sitting in a convertible and the wind is just going through your hair. However, it was more of the type of ride that you get when you're kidnapped, tied up, and thrown to the back of the truck, knowing you're in the forest because of all the bumps that are going on. So my goal in this video is to tell you exactly what it is it's going to take, because at the end of the day, if you don't know what you're signing up for, you might not really want to be doing it. I want to first start out by talking about why it is that you want to be doing what you're doing. You see, so many people start off and they don't even realize what's the reason why they're doing something. They might have seen a YouTube video, or they might have seen someone with their friends doing something and realize, oh, that's cool, let me do that. But we have to really understand what it is and why we are doing. Because if we don't know why we're doing it, when things get a little bit rocky, we're gonna get thrown off and we're not gonna be able to really understand what it is we need to do to get back onto the path. So my first question to you is, why do you want to become an entrepreneur? Why this specific field? And if you want to say that you want to make money, that's okay for level one, but we really have to understand, we have to really dig deep of understanding why it is that we want to do this certain things. You see, Dean Graziosi talks about how he would dig about 7 times deep to understand why it is that he's really doing it and really get into the core, into the essence. It's one of the first things I do with all my clients is understanding why it is we're doing what we're doing. Because if we don't know why we're doing it, we're not going to be able to stay on track when things get tough. So recognizing and doing the deep work of why it is important to you is going to be really important for you to have that long-term success. The second thing you need to understand is that it's not going to be smooth. Like, I know you think it's going to be hard, but right now you don't know what hard really means. And until you're in it, you're not going to understand it, because you're going to be doing these things and you're going to be like, how is it possible that I'm not getting any clients? How is it possible that nobody's buying my product? And if we don't understand that, really the expectation should be that it's going to be difficult, and that's okay. And the things that we don't know yet. We have to understand that we're only going to be able to constantly be working on ourselves to become better at this entrepreneur thing. But if your expectation is so high that everything's going to go so smoothly and well in the beginning, understand that that's not reality, and most people get burnt out because they don't even realize that how hard it's really going to be. It doesn't mean it's not going to be worth it. Just because something's hard doesn't mean it's worth it. However, you have to understand that when we are going to be doing something, we want to have the right expectations going in. Yes, there are people who have made millions overnight, and there are people who have become famous and done all these things in a very quick amount of time. But you have to realize the reason why the news loves that is because it's not the norm. Think about it. How many people are working on their businesses, their social media, trying to make money every single day? And how many of them actually take that jump really, really far? We're gonna have to understand that if you want to stay in the long game, it's going to be tough, and we have to really remind ourselves that it's not going to be easy all the time. It's gonna have the ups and downs, and it's going to be okay at the end as long as we stay consistent with it. And that takes me to my third point about being patient. Yes, I know that everybody throws around the idea that patience is a virtue, and yes, it is a virtue. If you don't know what a virtue is, check over here. But understanding that you really have to be patient, that the big things in life really take time, is so crucial in entrepreneurship, because so many times we want to be able to see the success so quickly, but we're just not ready for it. Think about this. There are 5.3 million millionaires in the US today, and that is only today in 2023. And guess what the average age of all of them are? It's 57. So if you're starting out as a 20 or 30-year-old and you're saying, hey, I want to become a millionaire, just realize that the average age is going to be 57. Doesn't mean it's not going to be worth it, because I'm sure you know people further along in life who have not made it and are upset that they really didn't take the action earlier on. So make sure you have a plan, stick to your plan, and then over time, the compounding of whatever it is that you're doing is going to only multiply every single year that you're doing it. So when the time you come to a certain age, and by the time you do it a certain amount of times, you're going to see that success. The fourth and final tip that I want to share with you is that you're going to need to constantly grow. And what I mean by that is that the skills that you have when you begin, you think are enough to get you to certain levels. However, the more you play and the more you understand the game, you realize that in terms of getting masterful at specific areas in the business, then we're going to only be able to become successful. So realizing that marketing is important, sales is important, for getting leads is important, closing is important, your product is important. There's so many different aspects to a business that when you come in, there's no really reason, unless you have the experience, that you should be good at those things. So understanding that I can actually work on myself to become better at whatever it is I'm looking to do, then I'll really be able to take things to the next level a lot quicker. It's a long game, but understanding that there's so many aspects and so many skills we can be learning is going to be so important to our growth in the business. So if you're looking to get started and now you're a little bit nervous because your expectations are, you know what, it might not be as glorious as it's going to be, we have to remind ourselves, think about why you're doing it in the first place. Because I'm telling you, when I'm able to go to my kids' graduation and to go to my kids' sporting events because I have the freedom to be able to control my schedule, and I look at my friends who are not at the graduation because they have to go to work, it's worth it. So realizing the why is extremely important and really is going to help us move forward. And that is going to jump us to the biggest tip that I can give you guys. It's understanding that if you want to go into entrepreneurship, you're never going to feel ready. Especially after this video, you might feel a little bit confused about what it is that you need to be doing. But once you get clear on why you're doing something, understand that the first thing and only thing you need to be doing in the beginning is just getting started. It is so crucial, and this is where most people don't really move forward. And this is where most people messed up. How long have you been waiting for to take that step? And you ask yourselves, probably a long time. So whether you're going to be starting this as a side time thing, whether you're going to start it as a hobby and see where it goes, understand that if you want to take that initial step, if you want to be able to become an entrepreneur, the first thing you're going to do is you're going to need to be okay with that uncomfortable feeling of not feeling ready, but still taking the plunge forward. 0 to 1 is a lot harder than 1 to 10. Understand that, get into the game, shift the mindset, start educating yourself, start speaking to people, start learning the skills. You'll be able to be on your journey to whatever it is that you are looking to accomplish.